This June 15th through 17th, come down to the Colorado Convention Center for the first annual Denver Comic-Con.
The Denver Comic-Con will be visited by plenty of amazing guests like Kristen Bauer from True Blood or Will Wheaton from Star Trek The Next Generation. Hey, Futurama fans, guess what? Billy West is going to be there. Tom Kane, Steven Seagal, Greg Weisman.
Realize your dream by meeting one of your favorite comic book artists in Artist Alley.
Hey, dorks, does Darth Nerd keep on beating you in lightsaber? Good news, they have Jedi training.
Are you looking for a really hard-to-find comic? Well, Denver Comic-Con's got so many vendors they had to move to a bigger room.
Hey, nerds, you want to get screwed out of your Vulcan minds? Try sci-fi speed dating. Buy your tickets online at denvercomiccon.com to the Comic-Con that's a mile above the rest. In Colorado, there is only one place that has the best selection of collectibles: Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
For over 27 years, Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics has been the ultimate destination for collectors.
They have a wide selection of hard-to-find coins, action figures, role-playing cards. You can go over there and get yourself a copy of Dominion and sports memorabilia.
Hey, Peyton Manning's a Bronco. I was there yesterday. They have a signed Peyton Manning jersey.
And, of course, they've got comics, which is what I go there for.
All their back issues are half off. On Saturday, all dollar issues are only 50 cents.
And if you sign up for a hold slot, you'll get 20% off graphic novels and comics.
So stop by 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you. Hey, everybody. Ryan from Real Nerds here. I'm here with my good friend Joe of Birdman Barbecue. Joe, why don't you give us a little bit of history of Birdman Barbecue?
Well, actually, it's a family recipe been passed down for generations. My wife's dad has it now, and we're just now starting to bottle it up. We've got two different flavors, original and spicy, so if you want a nice kick to the back of your throat, try that spicy. And now we've also got a rub, too. So,
You know, Joe, I have to be honest. I love the spicy barbecue, and if you put your rub on burgers with a spicy barbecue, off the chain.
I'm glad that you're being honest, Ryan, because that's what we like, is off the chain.
You know,
Thank you for trying that.
I'm so glad that you like that I said off the chain, because what's even more off the chain is you guys go around Colorado and other places and you actually enter in contests for your barbecue sauce if you won anything.
Yeah, I mean, we've entered our sauce in quite a few contests, and actually we got second place in the Frisco barbecue competition. So for our sauce, just the sauce, that's pretty cool. We've also won, different categories for side items and different things like that. But the sauce winning was the crowning achievement.
And you know what's so cool about being in Colorado is I can go to places around town to pick up the sauce. Where can I get the
go to your
sauce?
local area Ace Hardware stores. Check out Ruff's Barbecue in Golden. And then check out your local festivals, Frisco, Dillon. We're hitting up all those this year. So.
And also, I know too, you also run contests on your Facebook page. If you get a certain amount of likes, you always do a free drawing for a free bottle of barbecue sauce. Where can we find you on Facebook?
Absolutely. It's birdmanbbq.com, or on Facebook, I guess it's just birdmanbbq on Facebook. Check it out. Every 100 likes that we get, we enter everybody that likes us into a drawing for a bucket of barbecue, which is a bottle of each sauce and one of our rubs. So
awesome. So, yeah, make sure you like Birdman Barbecue. Check out Joe when he's doing little things around town with Frisco and winning competitions. You know what the barbecue sauce is? Delicious. Welcome to Real Nerds. I am Ryan. To my right is
James.
And to my left is
Brad.
I wasn't going to do the bit because Brad already chastised me earlier about how stupid it is.
I actually expected you to do it.
I know. So you know what, Brad? Fuck you. I'm not going to do it anymore. Now you want me to do it, and I'm taking it away.
No, I want you to do something else.
If you want me to name a place where Brad's been, you can tweet us at real_nerds, or you can also send us an email, realnerds@gmail.com. Send us your comments.
This
Let us
week
know.
I'm actually in the room with you.
This week he's actually in the room. Send
Next
us your
week
comments,
he is
what we
not.
can do better. I have actually a positive comment. I go to Wells Fargo every day for my other job to deposit money, and a teller there is one of the new likes on our Facebook page. His name's Marcus, and he told me that our Avengers podcast was amazing.
Awesome.
So thanks, Marcus, for giving us the feedback. And if you don't like an episode, you can tell us too. You can tell us we suck donkey dick, and I'll still read it on the air.
Just respond.
Actually,
Somebody-
send us anything. Like, tell us your life story. We'll read it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Ask us any question.
Yeah, we're
Actually, we forgot to mention James got a comment on our iTunes page.
Yeah, last week.
I did?
You did. Talk
What
about
was
how
it?
fucking sexy you are.
Oh, that was weeks ago.
Yeah, we forgot to say
somebody,
it.
Yeah, we gotta
somebody thought that I was pretty sexy.
Well, I can't blame him. I look at you every Friday.
I mean, he's my current employer, but
and
which
it's
is
a
weird.
he? Wow.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really weird. I think it's inappropriate.
That's okay.
Which is why he just got fired. So
Really got fired?
yeah, he's fired.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Because of a comment he left you on iTunes, and you
yes,
walked into
yeah.
to the office and said, I feel really uncomfortable with him saying I'm sexy. Get rid of this asshole.
Yeah. Slander.
Wow.
Wow, James, that's quite the revenge.
Yeah. Well, you know what? People won't fuck with me.
This show's taking a dark
He's
turn.
gangster. Besides James's dark side, if you've never listened to Real Nerds before, we do a very structured show here, just so everybody knows, okay? James, quit laughing.
What?
You in the cheap seats, quit laughing too. Jiminy Christmas. We do box office stats, DVD releases, nerd news. That's kind of just what we talk about, what we like. It could be a bunch of things. We've been also we talk about movies we've been watching. A new thing we've been doing is comic book reviews or pick up issues. Like this week, I'm going to actually tell you some back issues to pick up. And also, we'll be reviewing a new movie every week. This week, we saw Dork Shadows. Real news.
It's real news.
Of course, the coolest news to come this week was that the Real Nerds got press credentials for Denver Comic-Con.
It's pretty crazy, man.
That's awesome.
It's
Well,
really
two
exciting.
of us.
Two of us did. Brad's our tech guy, so he doesn't actually need a press pass. He'll follow us around and record everything that me and James do.
Yeah.
Or I'll be sitting at the booth watching our stuff.
Yeah, either or. We'll figure something out.
No. We haven't told Laura, but that's totally what we'll have her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
My wife is going cosplay, and she's going as Gwen Stacy. So
Is she really?
yeah,
Oh.
I know. How awesome is that?
She's not going to wear a
Pretty
real
awesome.
nerd shirt then?
Well, you can. You know what? She's going to be. I have an extra ticket. I don't know if you know this. I got press credentials and tickets to it. So
Always about the business, Brad. Always about the business.
So, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it's really big. It's
Yeah.
really big. So we're probably going to get to some very interesting, fresh content for that
Yes,
week.
so it should be
I'm
fun.
Really
We should
excited.
have a lot of content, actually.
We're not entirely sure what all we're going to do, but it's going to be pretty cool.
It's going to be an amazing episode. Actually, we should, if we do get interviews, we should parse them out.
Oh, yeah.
One interview per episode for the next few weeks, even though it's all stuff that happened that week.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of depends on how we do it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But going right into comic books, do you guys know how much money the Avengers made last week?
I do.
$1 billion.
But I think you want to
Close.
say it.
I'm going to say it. It made $207 million, which is Disney was being a little nice, saying it's going to make $200 million on Sunday. And then when the actual numbers came back, it was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, its per screen average is a record, along with the money it made, is $47,000 per screen.
Give people a reference of what it beat out.
Oh, I mean, the next closest one is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which is $169 million.
Oh, man.
I mean,
So it's 40 million.
40
Almost.
million.
Yeah.
Well, $47 more million than
A movie that came out last year.
yeah,
and was huge. Was like the
yeah, because I remember when we saw that one, I'm like, oh my gosh, this one is out of control. And when we saw the numbers come in for its midnight showing, I mean, it's good, but you're like, huh,
They were kind of disappointing.
maybe 150 million, I guess it's going to shoot for. And then you saw its actual total on Saturday, and then Sunday. I mean,
It's all word of mouth. Like everybody's got to be coming out of that movie just loving that film.
and stoked.
and
I mean,
telling all
even
their
today
friends
when
to
we
go.
were at the theater and we were waiting in line to get tickets to Dark Shadows, I mean, everybody was Avengers, and they had 3 showings that were sold out.
Yeah.
I mean, in the second week, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this week they're saying it's going to obliterate Avatar's second weekend of 75 million.
Good.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, if in case you're wondering where we get all our information, Box Office Mojo is where we get all our information. The second movie, I think, was
8 million.
8 million or something. And obviously the Avengers also broke the record for the biggest share of the overall box office in history.
Yeah.
Something like 87%
Wow.
or something. It's crazy.
Man.
So yeah, crazy. Also, I guess coming out next week is kind of a light week. There's only one movie that I might get eventually, and that is One for the Money, starring Katherine Heigl. I saw it the first time when it was called The Bounty Hunter.
Wait, you're not really going to buy one for the money, are you?
Fuck no.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to support her.
I thought that's what you were saying.
And then a movie that the real nerds did see, The Gray, is also coming out
That was a great movie.
with Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I don't know. Liam Neeson's kind of cool. You guys saw Chronicle. I did not
Yes.
see Chronicle.
It's not great.
So, yeah, nothing to worry about that.
It's kind of like, it's more the showiness of it. Like, I'm excited for what that guy does next and what those people are involved in.
I think,
more than
what is
that
he doing
movie.
next? I think they've already announced
Fantastic
his.
Four.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
really?
already announced his
Wow.
next movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hell on Wheels, Season 1. Brad, did you watch Hell on Wheels or did you watch Hell on Wheels?
I watched Hell on Wheels.
I watched an episode.
Yeah, he was bored. I thought it was great.
Cool. So the Season 1's on Blu-ray.
Cool.
You know.
I probably won't buy it until later, but yeah.
And the one that I might buy eventually is their Criterion, being John Malkovich.
Oh, wow.
Is on Blu-ray and DVD.
Yep.
So it might be interesting.
Yeah.
Criterion always does good stuff.
They do.
I don't
They're
adore that
awesome.
movie like most people.
I don't either. It's an interesting movie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Digital Bits. Make sure you click on their links of DVD art, and it'll take you right to Amazon and buy from them.
Yeah. Give
Support
them money.
Give them money.
Digitalbits.com.
Digitalbits.com. You know, it's actually the Digital Bits. I didn't know that.
It used to be, and then they got both domains, so you can do either one.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
I think the header is still the Digital Bits.
Yeah.
Using the on the internet is lame. Like the Facebook.
Yeah, I also think it's lame that when people actually type www dot something, you can just type digitalbits.com and
Yeah. Well, actually, sometimes that doesn't work, but
something.
there are some websites out there that still require the www.
Really,
part.
like what
Really?
website?
Yeah, I don't know specific
Come
ones.
on,
but
nerd.
At my job, we type in some customer's address, and if you have certain articles missing, it just doesn't work. So.
Huh.
Or if the www part's not there, it takes you to a different spot that's not the real website. It's weird.
That's archaic.
It's complicated, and yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so a couple big things happened this week that
Yeah.
we like.
Absolutely.
I mentioned on through Facebook that I found that Comic Book Man is coming back for a second season,
yeah.
which is really cool because you were a little worried because you didn't really hear anything.
Yeah.
They aired the last episode. You knew it was doing pretty good ratings, not like stellar, but pretty good.
Months ago.
Yeah. So you're like, I wonder if they're just not going to do it. And you read that Walter really didn't like doing it.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear.
But now they're doing 16
16
half-hour episodes right after The Walking Dead.
Was the first season half-hour episodes?
No, they were an
Oh,
hour.
okay.
Six
That's
12-hour
probably a
ones.
good idea.
Yeah, just break it up.
Yeah, I think if they sort of focus each episode a little more, so each one is one fun idea, that would make for a better show.
And like I said, it was one of the few shows last year that just kept getting better for me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So hopefully it'll be as good. I expect it to be because those guys are kind of goofy.
Yeah.
And if Jason Mewes makes another appearance, it's we're all better for it.
Yeah. And The Talking Dead got renewed as well.
It did, and
Oh
I
my
do
God.
like Chris Hardwick. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. Even though I've still never watched it.
No, you should.
It's such a shame.
It's cool, but the cool thing about The Talking Dead, if anybody's not watched it, I've seen every episode. Chris Hardwick watches the episodes live, and he has the opportunity to watch them way before they're aired because of the position he's in. But he made the decision that he wanted to live it as a fan, and so when they cut to it live, and he's super excited because Sophie just got blown away. It's how you feel, and
He says badass a lot.
he does.
A couple of episodes I've seen.
Yeah,
His
But-
go-to adjective is badass.
but you know what I mean. Like you can see how excited he is when he does it. So it's kind of a cool thing where he's kind of living the nerd's dream.
It's pretty great.
It is. One thing that me and James and Brad, I don't know if you like Community as much as me and James.
I like Community.
But it got renewed for 13 seasons.
Yeah.
13 episodes, I'm sorry.
13
13 seasons, that'd be awesome.
God, 13 years of college.
13 seasons in a movie. Yeah, 13 new episodes, which is great.
Yeah.
It at least means we're going to get more. My fear was actually always that if they got another season, it would fall apart after one more season anyway. With all the stuff with Dan Harmon and Chevy Chase lately, it just feels like that show is beginning to stress. As great as I still think it is. Like you haven't watched this week's episode, but I thought it was awesome. Made me laugh harder than most of the episodes this season. But I think it's probably a good idea. Even if this is the last season, the fact that they're going to get some time to, sort of work out whatever they've got left in them and go out the way that they should, not just sort of get beat down at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's nice because their ratings have actually been getting better. So it is entirely possible that a 13-episode season could do well, and then they get another one. But it is a weird thing. I can't remember a time when NBC or any network channel has done 13-episode seasons like this. I think Fox did short seasons for the Sarah Connor Chronicles, but that was a different kind of thing. I can't remember anybody shortening the season like this just to like give it one last chance. It's interesting.
Yeah,
they're doing that with 30 Rock too, I believe, right?
They are. Are they doing 13 episodes though? I know.
I thought so.
I know it's the final season of 30 Rock for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't watch that show.
Neither do I. Every time I catch it though, I usually laugh at it because it's pretty silly.
I usually don't.
No, that's all right.
Yeah. I don't really like SNL.
Hey, did you know also too? I was reading this week that James Cameron is only going to make Avatar movies.
Oh my god! Yeah, I read it
because he's so sure that Avatar 2 is going to be such a huge hit that he doesn't need to make anything else except that and documentaries or something.
It feels like anti-art. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it feels like having somebody who is supposed to be sort of an artist. Like, yeah, he's really into the tech, but he's a storyteller. Having somebody just decide, I'm just going to make sequels for the rest of my life feels like your heart was never in it to begin with.
Yeah, and if you read his quote, he says, "And I can say all my messages I want to say." Like he's going to make it really political. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's certainly what I don't want to ever see.
Because his first one's already kind of political. I mean, there is some cool parts in the first one. I'm not going to lie, but the story kind of collapses upon itself. And why do they have to stick the tails of the birds into their tail to fly? I never got that part.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not their tails; it's their hair.
James, you picked it as one of your top 10 movies of 2009.
I did. Here's the thing. I still really like that movie. Like, it's dumb, but to see that in theaters was really special. It's more that I don't like James Cameron, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's up with people call him Jim Cameron? Is he James or Jim? Make up your fucking mind.
It's the same thing. Every now and then I call Spielberg Steve because he and me are besties.
Steven Spielberg is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not compare those two.
What's funny is every now and then, every time there's an article about James Cameron, there's always that little bit at the bottom about whether or not he's going to make Battle Angel Alita, which you guys probably don't know. Well, you do, don't you? Have you read the books?
No, I've seen the anime.
Oh, I've never seen the anime. I am a huge fan of those books, and I'm the guy who skims those articles to get to the part where they talk about when he's going to make that movie, because I've always thought that there's a lot of crazy ideas and a lot of visual stuff that if he made that movie it could be really cool, but that's just not going to happen now.
No.
I want him to do that. I want him to sort of free himself from this juggernaut of Avatar and how much money it can make and go and make something fun and exciting,
Yeah, well, let me ask you a question. You think Avatar 2 would make a lot of money as much as the first one?
It'll make a lot more internationally, but I don't think it'll do as well domestically.
I don't think so. I don't know. Does it have that much goodwill? I don't know.
I think that I don't know.
Because I mean, it's a small sampling, but my brothers don't like it either.
I don't know what this means, what I'm about to say, but I will say that from what I've seen over the last however many years that I've been alive, international box office tends to like things that are big and flashy. If they're derivative, that's right. Okay. Especially, I think some of that is because of the translation and stuff like that. But I think that internationally that movie will still do really, really well. But part of why Avatar did so well was because it was something sort of special. Mm-hmm. It was such a big...
That's what I'm saying, though.
It was such a big thing that a sequel... the only reason you come to a sequel is for the story and the characters, and that's the weakest thing about Avatar.
Yeah, I was wondering, too, because, the 3D is... Avatar made 3D cool, but then now everything, is 3D, so does it diminish the impact of Avatar in so much that now it won't perform as well? I think so, but, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Will I see it? Probably, but I mean...
Oh, well, if we're still doing this, you got to see it.
I have a job I'm doing. I'm not doing it because I love it.
Yeah.
I feel if Cameron comes out with Avatar 2, it's going to have some more, a better 3D or something. He's going to add another element to the technology, so
yeah, it
might be enough to catch...
Well, he'll probably do faster film rates, that's for sure, because he's been working on that with already.
Well, I know he didn't specifically do it, but a lot of his... tech guys worked on the Amazing Spider-Man from Avatar. So
Cameron finally did get to kind of make a Spider-Man movie.
Have you read his script treatment? Oh my gosh, it's not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is not.
Well, that's because he's an awful writer.
He is.
The thing that's interesting to me is, since Avatar, they've been talking like, well, it's going to be 3 movies. Now with this article he was talking about this time, he was saying maybe Avatar 4. Honestly, my biggest question is, if they make Avatar 2, does it do well enough that they make Avatar 3?
Yeah.
Like, at the point at which these movies cost $1 billion to make, and yes, double your money, is it worth it? You can double your money on plenty of projects. Is it? I mean, I guess $1 billion is always worth it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I have for news.
I'm not excited about it at all.
No. James, what do you have for news for me?
Well, you're such a big Hunger Games fan.
I am,
Ryan.
I am.
That you might really be interested in this. The Scary Movie guys are going to make a spoof of the Hunger Games.
Cool. If it's as good as Epic Movie.
They're going to call it the Starving Games. Isn't that funny? Because Hunger's like so. Oh, and while they're doing that, just the other day, honestly, I was having this conversation with my mom because she was flipping around the TV and Date Movie was on. Hey, cat. Hey, cat. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you in the face, cat. Get it. Die. Die a horrible death. Okay. Date Movie was on, and my mom was like, "Oh, this is the worst thing." Like, I don't know why she sat and watched it for 10 minutes.
Maybe because Allison Hannigan's in it.
That's why she brought it up with me. She was like, "Oh, Allison Hannigan was in it, and she was horrible." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." They're making Scary Movie 5 now, and it is a spoof of Black Swan. Like, when did this fad come back?
What?
I thought this was dead.
Yeah, I guess.
Black Swan a scary movie?
No, it's not.
It's like, I mean, I guess it's a psychological thriller. I wouldn't call it scary.
It's not a horror movie.
No.
I mean, most of the stuff they were making fun of in the last couple of scary movies were not
Scary Movie. Yeah,
horror movies.
Was it 3? Was making fun of signs.
Yeah, there's scary stuff in that movie.
Yeah, that people think it's a good movie.
It's great. That movie's great. I honestly, I was so happy. I thought that fad of horrible spoof movies was dead, and it seems to be coming back for some reason. Does anybody actually like those movies?
I like some of them. I don't like the recent ones. I thought the first Scary Movie was kind of funny, and then I like the third one because Charlie Sheen's really good in it. But as far as spoofs, I think the last good one was Loaded Weapon 1.
Yeah, I don't
know. Is MacGruber considered a spoof?
No. It's an SNL movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Sad.
What else you got, James?
Well, the obvious thing is that Avengers is going to get a sequel.
What?
Obviously.
No.
No.
Yeah, I know, right?
I am shocked. It's going to be at $1 billion before the weekend's over.
There were a couple of interesting things that came out about this. The funniest thing is that the military said that they backed out of support on the Avengers because they didn't think that it had enough reality in it. Their biggest problem was that they didn't understand who S.H.I.E.L.D. reported to. Does the military report to S.H.I.E.L.D.? Does S.H.I.E.L.D. report to the military? This is an actual conversation that was had. It's ridiculous.
S.H.I.E.L.D. reports to Powers Booth. I don't know if you saw the movie.
I did. It's like President Daniels.
Yeah.
What's funny is we're getting all these trailers for Battleship where they're like, we got real Navy men to be on this movie, and we're so proud of that. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make for a great movie.
Nope.
So maybe it doesn't matter if the military pulls out.
I did read an interesting article, now that you brought that up, that someone analyzed the destruction of New York City within the Avengers, and they came to the conclusion that it cost $160 billion to repair New York City.
Well, yeah. Hey, Tony Stark's got the money. He'll fix it.
$160 billion? Wow, he's pretty rich.
He is. He's crazy rich. But the other big question was whether or not Joss Whedon's going to come back. People have sort of said that with the other Avengers movies, with the exception of Iron Man 2, people are saying, well, Marvel's kind of bad about lowballing directors and trying to get other people in there because they don't want to spend a lot of money. But I can't see how they could do an Avengers 2 without him.
Yeah,
this is the guy. He wrote and directed this thing. Give him some, and it did this. It did these numbers. Give him a little money and get him back for the next one, and it will be just as good.
Yeah.
I can't understand a world where they don't do that. And he's already said that he's willing to be, he wants to be there for it.
Yeah.
And then Kick-Ass 2 got it. They're going to try to make Kick-Ass 2. sink some more money into that pit. Did you guys like Kick-Ass?
I
We
loved
weren't doing a
Kick-Ass.
podcast, did you?
I did.
I did, yeah.
I think it's the last time Nicolas Cage was good.
I like his Adam West impression.
Yeah.
But it's sad Matthew Vaughn won't be back, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a big fan of the book and sort of disappointed by what they did with the movie. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, it's okay, but it wasn't.
I guess we'll have to do a kick-ass commentary sometime.
Ooh. Stay
Or
tuned
not.
for that.
Brad, you got any news?
Not really.
You have
Well, then
something
that's
on
it.
here. I didn't say it because I know you wanted to say it.
No, The Office got renewed. I still like The Office.
Really?
For the most part.
I did not expect that was going to happen. I didn't see that.
But Kelly Kapoor might not be back 'cause she's doing her own show. So,
Yeah.
but
And-
based on the season finale, it kind of didn't really solidify what her character does. So, they don't really round out her story. So,
And isn't Rainn Wilson leaving too?
I thought he was supposed to do the farm, but I haven't seen any news on that. So,
Huh.
but it sounds like based on the season finale, they have some other story arc to go on for The Office.
Wow.
It's not much, but we'll talk about that later.
Interesting.
I just feel like they're beating that thing to death. Well, that's
So
real
that's it
news.
for me.
Cool.
That's the news.
So in the comic book corner this week, I don't know if you guys saw my amazing Spider-Man blog
I did.
that I wrote.
It was pretty good.
Thanks. And it actually got me really reminiscing about Spider-Man stories that I loved. And, I typed the whole little thing with the death of Gwen Stacy and the death of the Green Goblin, and it really got me, I don't know, really reminiscing about Spider-Man stories and how much I love them. And if you read my blog, the second story I picked on there was the first one that I really got into as a kid, and then as I became an adult and read it again, meant even more to me. And it's called The Child Within, and it was a 6-part story. So you can pick this up at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. I know they have all 6 issues there. Go to Spectacular Spider-Man. It's issue 174 through 180.
178 through 184.
Thank you. 174 through 1 whatever he just said.
178 through 184.
The expert doesn't even know.
I know.
He wrote it on the blog. I'm stealing it from the blog.
But I mean, the premise of it is Spider-Man, Harry Osborn, and Edward, who plays the character Vermin, all have psychological problems stemming from their childhood, and they go see the psychiatrist. Her name is Dr. Kafka, and so she sits down with each one of them, and and each little part will always have the one I'll never forget. It's actually the cover I used on it is part 3, and it's at the end of part 2, Spider-Man is drugged by the Green Goblin, and he's dreaming of trying to hug his parents, and then he can't hug him, and then he can't hug Uncle Ben, and then it fades into the Green Goblin, and then the Green Goblin has issues with his dad and how he died at Spider-Man's hands, in quotes. And it's just a really riveting story, and it's really psychologically, it's how the scars from your past shape the person you are in the future. The character Vermin is actually appeared in Captain America 252, I believe, and he started off as an experiment from Baron Zemo, and they never really explained his origin. In this, they say that he was sexually abused by his father, and because he was sexually abused by his father, he created this alter ego called Vermin, who's just this man rat, and he's vicious. And so he lashes out on people because of it. And that's part of the story, too. And then it also deals with Harry and Peter, Harry Osborn's the Green Goblin, their friendship, and why. There's one of my favorite moments in the whole thing is the very last issue. Peter's given up. He's tired of fighting Harry because he doesn't see a point to it. He says, "Why am I fighting you all the time? You're my best friend, and you'll never understand what kind of monster your father was." So Spider-Man gets on his knees without his mask, and he says, "You want to kill me, Harry? Kill me." And he just sits there, and so Harry Osborn has this little prong come out of his glider, and he's gearing in to hit Peter, and he pulls up at the last second, and he screams, "Why can't I do it? Why can't I do it?" Crashes his goblin glider, and Peter goes over and says, "Because you're my best friend." And Harry Osborn pulls away, and he says, "I'm not anything to you." And he gets on his goblin glider and flies away. And he dies 10 issues later. So it's a really interesting story, and like psychologically, it's crazy. And if you want to read a nice little, there's a few follow-ups to it. Also on there, I did Spectacular Spider-Man 200, which is the death of Harry Osborn, where kind of ends that story. And then right after that, they did the death of Vermin. And usually when it's a death of a comic character, you think the character dies. But what Vermin and Edward does is he overcomes his guilt and his feelings about being sexually abused. And so the Vermin goes away from him.
Man.
Because he no longer fears his father.
And Marvel gets critiqued for not having dark enough villains? Man. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that's where Vermin came from.
Well, the guy who wrote Child Within is J.M. DeMatteis, who also wrote Kraven's Last Hunt.
I was
So-
just going to say, because I remember reading about the Vermin in Kraven's Last Hunt. And
Yeah,
being
exactly.
Like,
So
this character is messed up and weird, but I didn't really know where it came from.
Yeah, so go pick up, it's called The Child Within. And there's also a little bonus one, too. It's called The Child Within. It's the epilogue, and it's kind of just Spider-Man dealing with the guilt of Vermin and the Green Goblin, and the Green Goblin shows up at the end.
Is there a trade collection, or do you have to get the back
I
issues?
don't think there's a trade for it, but all the back issues are probably only $2.
Oh, okay.
So you can get all 6 of them for $12. So that's my story, and I just loved writing that blog, and I love sharing that one because it's a story that is kind of forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really good to me. It might not be good to other people, but I just loved how deep it was, and it touched me, not like Edward's dad.
No, whoa, man. Careful now.
So yeah, Spider-Man, The Child Within, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and it's drawn by my favorite Spider-Man artist,
Romita?
Sal Buscema.
Ah, that's right.
Romita is like awesome, but I don't know. That's the guy I grew up with, and that's the first exposure I had to the Green Goblin. So he always kind of stuck with me.
Cool.
So after I brought everybody down with my serious comic book story,
Rape.
Spider-Man's awesome though. He's still amazing. We'll go into what we've been watching.
What have you been watching, Ryan?
What have I been watching? I've been watching a few things. Tim and Eric's $1 Billion Movie came in the mail.
Oh, this again.
So I forced my wife to watch it with me. Well, I didn't force her. I told her she probably not going to like this movie, but she decided to sit down and watch it with me, and she did not laugh at all.
Aw.
But I did forget some moments in the movie that I could not stop laughing at. There's a part where Tim sleeps with Eric's girlfriend, and so he's arguing with him afterwards, and he's like, "She made you soft," and they keep on going, "No, she didn't make me soft," and it's back and forth, and then after a minute, he goes, "She makes me hard," and then all of a sudden, Tim looks at the camera and he says, "What we just did is we kept on setting up this joke. We wanted to add a laugh track, but the movie studio said you can't add a laugh track. This is a motion picture in theaters. They won't let you do it." And then it goes right back to the movie. It's really funny. And the part where they meet Will Forte's sword guy, oh man, he's they come in, they make up this company called Dobus, and they say, "We're just here to help you." And Will Forte just keeps on going, "Why don't you go take a nice piece of shit?" Then he just keeps on saying "eat shit" over and over again. It's ridiculous. But I love the movie, and when you get the Blu-ray, it comes with all these quotes about how great the movie is. But if you read it, it says the most awesome movie ever, Tim. This movie's amazing, Eric. This movie is extremely funny, Tim and Eric's mom. And they're riding a wolf on the cover.
Nice.
And I forgot how stupid it is after John C. Reilly's character wrestles the wolf and falls, and then Will Ferrell just starts running into it. It's bizarre. Anyways, Tim and Eric's $1 Billion Movie, you should watch it.
Yep.
I also saw Kevin Smith, Burn in Hell, which is on Netflix, and it was kind of fun watching it because it's after Red State Q&A, and
like the one we went to.
We went to, and he kind of repeated some of the same stories, so it was kind of fun reliving that. But he did bring up Ben Affleck and casting for Argo, which we saw the trailer for, which looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And how he said that he just took all his actors from Red State and put them in Argo because I guess Michael Parks is in Argo and John Goodman's in it. And he said, "Hey, you should do me a favor, though, Ben. You should, since you liked Red State a lot and you stole all my actors, why don't you put a quote on there like Quentin Tarantino? Quentin Tarantino said, 'I love this fucking movie.'" And the first one that Ben Affleck sent was, "The cast is really great." And I guess Kevin said, "Really, dude? You're going to send me that stupid quote? Think of another one." So he sent him one later, he said, "I love this fucking movie even more than fucking Quentin Tarantino." So that's kind of funny.
That's
Nice.
great.
So yeah, I should check it out. It's kind of cool seeing it and have him talk about the same stuff that we heard at our Q&A. I also saw 2 Robert Downey Jr. movies that I have
Ooh.
not seen. I'm
Wow.
I'm back on the RDJ train. Never left it, baby.
You're
Does that
running the RDJ train again?
I am.
Are you gonna have to like?
Choo-choo.
Are you gonna have to go back to your blog post and change some numbers around?
I might add to it, and I will actually. But the first one I saw was called Tough Turf, which is from 1985, starring he had been like 18, 19 in it.
Wow.
And James Spader plays a kid from Connecticut, and his family moves to L.A. because they lost all their money. But isn't L.A. fucking expensive as shit? Anyways,
Yeah, that doesn't make it.
my wife watched it with me, and she told me that the main chick in it is a real housewife of Orange County now, I guess, on reality.
Great.
What?
Yeah, I had no idea who she is. Anyways, this movie is really cheesy and stupid, but it has like that 80s cheesy, stupid like charm to it where it doesn't make any sense at all, and it has a really synth-laden soundtrack throughout the whole thing. But the part that didn't make any sense to me and made me laugh my ass off is basically the premise is James Spader comes and he starts riling up the gang that's at this school. And so they're always getting in fights. And then they rob people. And then at the climax, James Spader's trying to get with the gang leader's girlfriend. And they try to rob James Spader's dad. And his dad gets shot. He doesn't die, guys. Don't worry. He doesn't die.
Oh man. Oh.
He doesn't die. But then he challenges James Spader to a match. And then they go fight in this like abandoned warehouse. And Robert Downey Jr. plays a guy named Jimmy.
Are they dance fighting like from Footloose?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it actually turns out to be pretty brutal.
Oh, but they're actually hitting each other.
Yeah.
They're not just dancing.
They're not just dancing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it seems like one of those stage fights. Anyways, so he can't find Robert Downey Jr. He goes to his house or his apartment, and Robert Downey Jr. is not there. I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. has an apartment by himself, and he's in high school. I don't get it. Anyways, he
Dude, it's a tough turf out there.
it is tough turf. What really, I forgot a part though. What really sets him off is the gang's leader asks his girlfriend's dad, his girlfriend's dad, if it's okay if she marries him, and so they celebrate. And I totally forgot another part. At the beginning of his movie, the James Spader's bike gets ran over.
Whoa.
So then Robert Downey Jr. makes him a new bike at
Wait.
the end. And
Out
he's,
of wood or something? What?
No.
How does he make him a new bike?
like just with parts he's scrounged up. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And it's-
I thought like he was fabricating the parts of a bike.
Yeah, well, I forgot that the part that set him off is because Robert Downey Jr.'s character offers it as a consolation prize. That's where James Spader finds out that she has been engaged. And so not only did he shoot his dad, but now his girlfriend's engaged.
What?
And so he goes to see Robert Downey Jr. He's not there anyways. They go and they have this huge fight. And then all of a sudden, Robert Downey Jr. shows up in this warehouse with Doberman pinchers. And he tells him to attack him. And he gets shot in the leg.
Robert Downey Jr. does? Or,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
He gets shot in the leg. And I don't know what happens to the dogs. They never show the dogs again. But he just shows up with dogs.
It's Spader shoots Junior in the leg.
No, like one of the
dogs
one of the
shoots-
gang guys. I don't know. It's really
okay.
confusing, and it doesn't make any sense. But whatever.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. What was the other one you watched?
And actually, I watched a really funny movie, and it was amazing. And it's called Soap Dish with Robert Downey Jr. and Sally Field. And Sally Field is great in it. She
Usually is.
plays an actress on a soap opera that's like America's Sweetheart. And she's really vain and insecure. So Whoopi Goldberg is her character writer. So they go to for example, she'd go to the mall and Whoopi Goldberg would freak out that who Sally Field was. So everybody would freak out, and so she'd get the attention. And Robert Downey Jr. plays the producer on the show who just wants to bang one of the stars on the show. But the only way she'll bang him is if he gets rid of Sally Field's character on the show. And so they try to think of all these new things, like Kevin Kline's in it, and he's great. He plays out-of-work soap opera actor who's in Florida performing Death of a Salesman at a dinner theater with a bunch of old people. And so they recruit him to do it. And then what's great about this movie is I don't want to spoil what happens in it, but it's a soap opera inside of a soap opera as you're watching it, so it's incredibly meta. And they literally have a point where you find out all these new things about the character. Like, for example, in the soap opera saying, "But I'm really your father," and there's parts of that in this movie, but it's as playing the characters in the soap opera. You have to. It's really hard to describe.
Jimmy, I thought you were dead.
Exactly. Like they have because that's so stupid. They offer to give Sally Field's character a brain transplant at this one point, and then Elizabeth Shue's in it. You have to see. It's I'd spoil what happens, but you have to watch it. It's free if you have, or if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can stream it for free.
Cool.
But the performances are amazing, and I mean, there's points where Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get with this one chick, and she's leaning over him to tell him how to write a scene, and he's leaning over and like rubbing her tit, and he's like, "When do I get to see those fucking things?" And it's just, it's great, and he's Robert Downey Jr. kills in it, and all the actors are amazing in it because they have a few that you'll recognize, and yeah, you have to see it. Like it's crazy good, just because how clever the script is. Yeah.
Cool.
People coming back from the dead and stuff.
What? Oh no.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
You should. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes, and it's really light, and it goes by really fast, and it's brilliant.
Cool.
And there's Terry Hatcher, who I don't even like, actually has a brilliant line in it. Kevin Kline's passing her, and he says, "Wow, you have beautiful eyes." She says, "You like my eyes? See my fucking tits," or something like that. It's great.
Oh wow.
So yeah, check out Soap Dish.
Cool.
Which, if I redo my list, would be way higher up.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing.
Brad, what'd you watch?
I watched a bunch of things.
Oh, fuck. You just brought out like a book the size of the Bible.
I know, right?
It's like Leonard Maltin's video review book.
I rewatched Ghost Protocol, which we've talked
Awesome.
about, so we'll just glance over that. It was awesome again.
Mission accomplished.
Exactly. I watched Star Trek 2 again.
Nice.
And Star Trek 4.
Still good? Both of them good?
Yes. Source Code was on cable.
And you saw it in theaters.
I saw it in a dollar theater with, I think, mono sound.
Ooh. So
it was really hard to listen to, and I felt like the movie would have been a great movie in like the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Type of movie. It's just...
It's
as someone who liked Moon, it just like lacked this extra added punch to it. It just felt very like just kind of an average mystery thriller thing.
Yeah.
So, and then at the very end, it gets very convoluted.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like you're following a very normal, like easy to follow story, and then at the very end of it, it's just like they throw all these layers on you, and you're like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
So
the ideas of that movie are really cool, and they've actually been talking about making it a show, and I think that would be probably pretty awesome if they could find a way to really ground it. But the problem is the sort of multiple worlds problem that they have by the end of the movie is
whoa, spoilers! I haven't seen it.
Well, it's kind of about time travel, so you kind of know that's
What's
a thing.
The girl's
going
name in that?
The girl, Michelle Monaghan.
You see her boobs in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I know.
Oh, the movie's great, and not just for that reason.
No, that movie's awesome. My favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie still.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's Source Code, and then I also rewatched Air Force One.
Yes.
Nice.
Which is that movie doesn't get like attention.
No, it doesn't.
It's basically Die Hard on a plane, but
yeah.
And Harrison Ford's the president.
And Harrison Ford's the best president in cinema ever.
Yes, absolutely.
If only real life presidents could be like him.
Oh man, get off my plane! It's still great. Oh,
do I have to like explain it, because I feel like
No.
we're at the age right now where maybe our younger listeners have never seen that movie.
Harrison Ford fights Gary Oldman on a plane.
Yeah, who's a Russian.
Gary Oldman is amazing in everything he does,
Yeah.
and this is not an exception.
There are some cheesy things though, like
Oh yeah, I mean, because it's still like a mid-90s action movie, but like if you compare it to Executive Decision, which is very like plot-wise a similar movie, Air Force One is way better. I love Executive Decision, but it's just that movie is a notch above, mostly because of those actors.
well, Gary Oldman's character's whole like scheme of we're gonna take over Air Force One to let that Russian general out of prison.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, who cares about Russian generals in prison? Yeah.
and then when he does leave the prison for a few seconds, and then like all the guards are like, yeah, that guy's free. He's gonna rule us again, and then they immediately flip flop when they get the call to shoot him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we just follow orders. Kill him. Like, he's out there. You think they would just like not shoot him?
It's cool because, like, in any other movie, the president would be the person who is in trouble, and we've got to save the president. Like, we've seen that a billion times. But having the president be the superhero who has to save his daughter it's great.
Yeah.
It's it's on Blu-ray for like $8 right now.
Yeah.
I might
totally gonna
make
go
a
buy
visit
that.
to Amazon after this.
I saw it at 16, and I was like, I mean, it's a good movie, but I was like, I think I could get it for 8 at some point because people don't regard
Clamor
it that
for
well.
it.
Yeah. And then I also watched a very old movie called Fitzwilly.
Huh.
It's a Dick Van Dyke movie
Really?
from the 60s, obviously, and is very hard to follow. But I think it's about this butler named Fitzwilly, this Dick Van Dyke's character, and he's a butler to this woman who has a huge fortune or whatever, and she lost the fortune somehow, but he's too, like, he respects his job too much to, like, let that go. Like, so he's developed this elaborate ruse to make her think that she's still super wealthy, yet on the side he's collaborated with all the other help in the mansion to do all these side schemes to generate the wealth that keeps, not exorbitant wealth, but enough to keep them paid and her thinking that she still has status.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure how their schemes actually get the money, because the very beginning of the movie is Dick Van Dyke making a transaction with like a department store and having something sent to some other store that gets delivered to the mansion, and then people pick it up at the mansion and then deliver it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't follow it at all, but
Is this movie on, like,
it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah,
I haven't even heard of
the
it.
poster's like him running away with, like, I thought was a typewriter. So it's like very cartoonish, and it's like, oh, this seems like a wacky comedy, but no, he's kind of like a hard ass,
Really?
like butler guy who's like, he's in control.
Is it not a comedy?
It is a comedy, but it's not like it's not a zany comedy. It's just like, what happens is he's got this whole scheme going on, but then the woman he works for, the wealthy woman, she hires this is actually kind of creative. She hires a secretary to come work for her, and the secretary is supposed to help her create a dictionary that has all the words that are misspelled, so you can find the words that are like if you have a word and you don't know how it's spelled, but you have a general idea of what it is, you find that word the way you think it's spelled, and it directs you to the actual spelling.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to sit around and think of all the different ways that you can misspell a word, and then compile all those together and create a database, and then connect those. So they're doing this research, and because this secretary, who's Barbara or Agent 99, I forget her full name. I think it's Barbara something. Barbara Feldon. She's the secretary, and so she, having an outsider in the mansion, threatens their, like, exposing their secret business. So Dick Van Dyke is constantly trying to find ways to get rid of her, but he can't because his employer wants to keep her around. So, yeah.
Do you have to be a fan of Dick Van Dyke to like it?
Probably.
I'll watch it.
If I can understand what the actual, like, how his schemes work to get money.
His what?
Fitzwilly.
Fitzwilly.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I love Dick Van Dyke, though.
Yeah.
I blacked out when you said Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, it sounded like you guys stopped listening, so whatever.
No,
I wasn't.
I don't blame you. It's kind of hard to follow. Like, yeah.
I was just kidding. I like Dick Van Dyke. Just not. I haven't watched a lot of it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool.
James, what do you got?
I dabbled in a little Spider-Man this week.
Nice.
I didn't watch a lot of it, so I'll probably talk about it again next week because I'm sort of in this weird stage. This tends to happen anytime you start watching a cartoon show like Spectacular Spider-Man, which Brian lent me, where I'm in this weird place where it's hard to, like, motivate myself to watch it because it is very much a kids show, and I'll get to that in a second. But it's pretty good. The animation was what scared me at first, because I don't know how you describe it.
Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I read an interview with the creators. They did that on purpose so they could make the action really cool.
And it is pretty cool. But I feel like what it showed to me is that my expectations for Ultimate Spider-Man were way beyond what anyone doing Spider-Man cartoon series seems to even be interested in doing. I wanted the Last Airbender of Spider-Man. I wanted mature storytelling with really amazing action that is also great art. I wanted it firing on all three cylinders, and I don't feel like either of these shows is really that. Like, I kind of feel like when I watch Spectacular Spider-Man, it is just me re-watching stories that I've seen before. Since I was a big fan of the 90s Spider-Man, I'm still like, yeah, these are all these characters, and they're told in the same the stories are told in the same simple way that they were in that show. So the only difference here is that Spider-Man actually gets to fight people. Like, he actually hits people with his fists for once. But I don't think that's quite enough. It's still, it's still Spider-Man, so I still kind of like it, but it's not the Spider-Man cartoon show that I want.
Well, what do you want to see in a Spider-Man cartoon show?
I want to see Ultimate Spider-Man, the comic book, in motion, where it's actually like Peter Parker is a kid and I care about him, and maybe that would have to be hour-long episodes where you actually get to build story arcs or something. I don't really know what I miss, but I feel like Ultimate Spider-Man is a really well-crafted story. Mm-hmm. Even when they're just doing fun, Clone Saga stuff and just zany things, I feel like those characters are much more grounded. But I mean, Spectacular isn't bad. It's just not.
I think it's really good. There's a great scene where he's in the season 2 where he's fighting Mysterio. Oh man, it's awesome.
And that's the thing. Like I said, I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in. I'm gonna keep watching it. Next week I might be in love with it. But
has the Green Goblin shown up yet?
No, I don't
he's
think
really
so.
good in that.
Okay. The other thing, I finished Friday Night Lights, all 5 seasons, and that show is still really good. The first season is definitely the strongest, which is before it sort of got canceled and picked up by DirecTV. The later seasons, it gets I don't even want to say melodramatic. It gets kind of, after school specially, like these are the episodes where we're going to talk about this issue. But they don't do it in a totally cheesy way. But those characters are so well written. Those families are people that I love, mm-hmm. and it is so heartwarming and encouraging and all the things that you don't see on TV. And yes, it's a lot of football, but like, I don't like football that much. So the fact that I am watching that show, clearly it is not a show about football, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I like the interplay between Coach Taylor and his wife is maybe the strongest and most well-written like marriage relationship that I think I've ever seen. Maybe it's a little bit with kid gloves because their relationship is so strong that when they fight, you always believe they're going to come through it. But it is certainly more mature than any sitcom or, family drama, Seventh Heaven bullshit. You should check that show out. At the very least, start it and see how you like it. And then the last thing, I finally got back to watching David Mamet movies. And this week I watched Spartan, which, first of all...
Is it Val Kilmer?
Yeah, Spartan with Val Kilmer. Movie. That movie is great.
It is.
Man, I was working a Blockbuster, I think, when it came out, and I feel like it was pretty much straight to DVD.
Yeah, it might have been. I got it used at Blockbuster because I had a regular at Outback Steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
Who came in all the time. His name was Steve, but he always went by Cowboy. And so Cowboy told me, says, Frosty, you got to pick up Spartan. It's great. It's with Val Kilmer.
It is great. It's one of the best thrillers I have seen in years. At least like mystery thrillers.
Remind me what I know. I kind of remember it, but just remind me.
Basically, Kristen Bell plays the president's daughter, and she is she's sort of at college at that point. I think she's at Yale, they actually say, or Harvard, one of the two. And she disappears in the night, and the Val Kilmer is this sort of badass military dude that we never really get. I don't even know if we get to his real name at any point. We he's just always sort of mysterious. It's David Mamet is usually really good at fleshing out his characters, and he fleshes this character out in very indirect ways. Like, the things that the character does and says are exactly who that character is, in a way that is maybe more pure than other movies where you can just have characters talk about that character. Nobody else knows who this guy is. So everything we know about him is in what he does, and he is a badass. And he is brought in to try and find Kristen Bell's character. I don't want to spoil too much of the mystery, because I think he throws in these great twists along the way where you then all of a sudden you're like, wait, then where are we? Like, what's going to happen next if this is where we are? And yet, unlike a movie like the one we saw tonight, where the sort of stakes constantly change and you're always in a different place, he maintains all that momentum and can bring characters in and out, and you don't feel like anything is missing. You don't feel like you're lost at all. It's got Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Coulson from Avengers. Yeah. And he's awesome, man. He is like, there's a couple levels of like government guys above Val Kilmer. Like, you kind of get to see the order. No, that's the wrong. You get to see the guys above him who are giving him orders and are giving each other orders. The chain of command above him, sort of. Clark Gregg is one of them. William H. Macy is another, and the guy what's his name? He's the father from Married with Children. Is another
Ed
one.
O'Neill.
Yeah,
I didn't know that's a David Mamet movie. Like, I haven't seen it in so long, but I owned it and I remember really liking it.
Oh man, it's really good. Yeah, so people should check it out. I don't know what else
this week. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially if you like. I'm starting to realize that he is really good at those mysteries. I may watch this movie again, but I've seen it a couple times in my life. The Spanish Prisoner is a David Mamet movie as well, and that's one of my favorite con movies. He's just really good at sort of keeping secrets from you and revealing them in a way that feels really natural. And this is...
Val Kilmer, too, is really good in movies. I guess because he's a dickhead is why he's not in very many more movies, but... He
delivers a couple of lines weirdly, but it's also directed by David Mamet. I could maybe lay it on his shoulders and say, well, maybe David Mamet should have told him to deliver that line a second time. Because there are a couple times where he'll emphasize words in a way that I'm like, whoa, why would anyone say it that way? Mm-hmm. But it is... I kind of want to go back and watch it again because... There's a lot of little details in there.
I should watch that movie again.
I don't think you can get it on Blu-ray yet. If you could, I think I would have bought it right away. It's pretty cool. You should check it out.
Nice.
Hey, sorry, I forgot two things.
Of course you did.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
I rewatched RoboCop 2.
Oh yeah.
And I've started live tweeting movies that I watch. So I'll post those eventually. It's kind of like the commentary thing I did.
Well, if you live tweet them, then you're not really live tweeting them if you're not going to post them right away.
Well, they're posted on Twitter, so...
Yeah, he is live tweeting them. He's just then going to go back and
I'll post those. I'll copy those onto Real Nerds.
I gotcha.
Cool. How did you like RoboCop 2? I think that movie's fun.
Watching again, like I watched it a couple weeks ago, but fell asleep
that's
or
right.
something.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised like how much I did re-like it because... It's kind of considered like not good.
Yeah,
but I think it's terrific, and it kind of lacks the extremity of the first RoboCop, like the stuff that Verhoeven.
Yeah, all the sort of
it,
satire kind of stuff,
over the top stuff that is in it. But I think this one, it's directed by Irvin Kershner, who did Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have any real strong dramatic weight, but
it's got some good
sort
of badass action.
There's some badass action in it, and there's some good themes in it, and I don't know why no one in any toy, like adult toy companies, not those adult toy, like collectors companies that make like really detailed action figures, haven't made a RoboCop 2 figure. Not RoboCop, but the RoboCop 2
Oh,
that's
yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually...
There probably was one back when that movie was made.
And the stop-motion animation of that movie is incredible. Like, at times I wasn't even thinking about it.
There's one shot early on that I think is kind of cheesy. I own it on DVD. I bought it at Circuit City for like $2 when they were going out of business. I think there's a shot early on of the animation that's not great.
The
but
stop
at the
motion
end,
of the prototype RoboCop 2s, the ones
Yes.
that killed themselves,
yes.
that's kind of like, okay, that's stop motion. But the actual RoboCop 2 that's based on Kane,
Yeah, the one at the end, all the action scenes at the end
it's
are
not
great.
until like he flies out of the top of the building and there's that green screen of the city.
Uh-huh.
Like, the green screen is the bad special effects. It's not
Right.
the stop motion, which is
Right.
just impressive. And all the all little stuff on his robot body that's working. Like he's got arms and legs, but there's also like another set of arms that roll up over his shoulders and
Yeah.
stuff. And
It's a cool design, that's for sure.
and how like he runs on the nuke, and then when they present him and they got that whole Delta City model that comes up, and suddenly all he's focused on is that nuke thing, and it starts wasting stuff. And again, who loads actual bullets into the presentation
Display
robot?
model, yeah.
It's like,
Oh, that's
that was one of my tweets for the failed RoboCop 2s that are in the video. It's like the one that pulls out the gun and starts shooting all the doctors. It's like, why did you load the gun for the test thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, but then RoboCop's fight with him is just so badass.
And that's the one that's the one that has like the gangster kid who
Yeah.
has to watch them torture some dude. That messed me up as a kid.
Yeah, that scene
when I saw that,
is
I
fucked
was-
up.
Oh man, yeah, it is.
And then Kane has the great line of, like, the girl's like, I thought you just said you were going to scare him. And then Kane's like, he looks scared, doesn't he?
yeah,
And then they tear into his sternum. Oh, my God.
yeah, man. And I think I only saw it on TV when I first saw that movie, and it still messed me up. So like the actual visually disturbing stuff I didn't see, so it just left me. It was almost worse because it just left me to imagine what that kid could be watching.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then back to the battle, too. Like, as far as sequels go, like, I forgot how much of a, like, let's take this to the next level. Because that, in RoboCop 1, it's just, okay, he hunts down all the gang guys at the power plant or whatever, or the chemical plant, and he basically shoots them all. But this is like...
This is a robot fight.
It's a robot fight, and there's just tons of destruction. Like the National Guard comes in, and it seems like a big budget sequel type thing. Like on par with Star Wars or something. It's
I don't remember I remember him.
I mean, it's not
fighting that
the special effects
robot.
aren't as good as that,
No,
but
no.
just the set piece of it all. Just fighting in the conference room and then going down like below the streets to fight them, and then back up through the top of the building. And then the elevator shaft. It's just like there's so much to it. It's
I kind of
amazing.
feel like I remember watching it and thinking that it was conceptually a cooler action scene than the end of Iron Man 1. As far as like it's a very similar
It's very similar,
idea.
now that you say
like
it,
it's a big mech fighting a dude in a suit
without the bad dialogue.
yeah, well, yeah. And Iron Man 1, it's they fight on the street, they fight on top of the building, and that's kind of it. And it's really great, but the ideas of what they're striving for at the end of RoboCop 2 are probably cooler.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd really like it as much as I already did like it, but I forgot how cool it actually was.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's sorry.
Well, let's move into something else depressing.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole week is off because the movie we saw, and we all saw
Hey!
different
Don't
things.
spoil our review of how bad this movie is.
James, should people go see Dark Shadows?
I've not been this bored in a movie in a long time. I think the background is more interesting than the foreground.
Brad?
I don't even know. Like, I feel like I can't make a accurate judgment without having some familiarity with the TV show, because I don't feel like this movie honors it at all from what I saw. But at the same time, like, there are some funny, interesting parts to it. It's definitely polished, but as far as like wanting to connect with something on the screen and feel like there's like a story I want to follow, it's not there. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think you have to know anything about the show to know that this movie sucks.
Yeah, the movie doesn't function, even if it were paying homage to something.
Hey, here's the trailer.
My name is Barnabas Collins. 2 centuries ago, I made Collinwood my home. My love. Until a jealous witch cursed me, condemning me to the shadows. What have you done? For all time.
What the hell is this?
He's coming. He's coming.
Hear me, future dweller. What is the year?
1972.
1972. My beloved Collinwood. The Collins family.
Who the hell is this?
I'm a vampire, madam.
Yeah.
He's not staying with us forever, is he? I like him.
Oh, super fat.
Welcome home, Barnabas Collins.
How soon can the horses be ready?
We don't have horses. We have a Chevy.
What sorcery is this? Reveal yourself, tiny songstress.
Hello, Barnabas. Remember me?
Witch, you cursed me to be this hideous creature. You may strategically place your wonderful lips upon my posterior and kiss it repeatedly.
What if I made you love me?
With what a spell.
With this?
I must admit, they have not aged a day.
She for real?
Indeed.
If I can't have you, I'll destroy you.
And your family.
Missed me. I shall restore the family business to its former glory.
Burn, baby. Burn. Fight on, Barnabas. Fight on for us.
And fight I shall.
Love me.
Never. That was a regrettable turn of events.
Are you stoned or something?
They tried stoning me, my dear. It did not work.
Right away, the problem I had with it actually started almost at the beginning. I thought actually the establishing shot of the ships was really cool. And then, Johnny Depp's narration was all right. But then it went on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like we need to have so much exposition before we set you up to the rest of the movie that we have to have Johnny Depp explain everything to you for
They should have based the movie on that. Like, let's figure out what happened to him to get to this point.
Yeah,
Instead,
or even like
adds a mystery to the movie.
it just force feeds you the information. If it had just started with her standing on top of the ledge and she jumps and he gets there and we can tell like, oh, he really loved her and he decides he's going to jump too and he jumps and then he hits the bottom and is still alive and that's the whole opening shot. That's such a cool idea. Like the idea that
You
he
were
would
sitting there going like, why is he still alive? What happened?
Yeah, like that's such a great idea, but because they do all the narration and everything, it just hand delivers you all the information and you don't give a
It's a
shit.
very passive movie.
Yeah, because then I don't ever care about Barnabas. He's the most uninteresting, unfunny main character.
And that's when I'm watching it, and that's my problem with Tim Burton movies lately. Is it's not like it seems like sometimes Tim Burton as the artist doesn't come through anymore. It's Tim Burton the brand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's Tim Burton. Oh, I need to make things gothic. I need to make things look cool because I need to sell T-shirts at Hot Topic.
It's style over substance.
Yeah, because even the movies, I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton. I've said this many times, but even stuff like Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice, you could kind of get behind him because the ideas are there, and
it's early in that style. Like
Yeah.
at that point, it was fresh and it was different.
And he can make good movies. I love Ed Wood. But it's like he's trying. You don't even know. And the problem too is, and it's not entirely Johnny Depp's fault. But when you see a Tim Burton Johnny Depp movie, you're not seeing a different character. You're like seeing Johnny Depp playing a character that Tim Burton wants him to play in this weird way.
It feels like you're not asking Johnny Depp to do anything anymore. Like you're not challenging him, and so I don't even feel like Johnny Depp tries. He shows up, he does the quiet thing that he's been doing in all those movies, and that's it. Like the Johnny Depp here is not the talented Johnny Depp of an Ed Wood or even Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean, he's trying something different there. This is so much the same.
Yeah, and I think too when you watch the movie, it's like it doesn't have really any point.
No,
you know
there's
what I mean?
no momentum
it's
at
like,
all.
I was constantly sitting there thinking, like, where is this going? Like,
There's no.
all we're
Where's the
seeing is, like,
conflict?
I love you. Well, I don't love you. Why don't you love me? I just don't.
And
I
little
want to have
snippets.
sex with you, but I don't love you.
And that's what I didn't get too. Like, what's the motivation for his character? Like, why is he sleeping with this girl that he doesn't like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to get this sort of the melodrama, over the top romanticism of a soap opera from the 70s, but that doesn't work. You only have 2 hours. You can't just, and that's especially true in the ending when all of a sudden characters are werewolves and other characters killed other people and there's ghosts coming out of the woodwork and like, oh, okay, all these, it's almost like, oh, well, this was supposed to be the Addams Family the whole time where they were all special in all these different ways, but we only focused on the least interesting one.
And why wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer's character? Why didn't she have a special thing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
and she was so disappointing.
Yeah,
A couple years ago, she blew me away in Stardust. Like I had never loved Michelle Pfeiffer more than I did in that movie, and in this one, she just like delivers lines like she's reading them off the back of a menu.
Like she seems like she's disinterested.
Yeah,
and I mean, there's so many stupid parts. The part with the what the fuck was the girl's name in it?
Chloe Moretz.
No, not her real name. I don't even know what the fuck her real.
The one that traveled there.
No, it was a werewolf.
Yeah, he means Chloe Moretz. Carolyn apparently was her name.
So Johnny Depp gets blasted through her, or was it Ava Green? Whatever.
Yeah,
gets blasted through the ceiling, and she's a werewolf all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
the movie could have ended without having that plot revealed.
Yeah,
at all.
well, because then it was stupid. Because then Ava Green, who plays Angelique, says, "Oh yeah, that werewolf came and bit you when you were a baby." Like, what the fuck?
Well, and here's what they're building up there is because the thing that's supposed to be a theme is this whole family garbage that isn't done well at all. Go watch Friday Night Lights. Instead, like, they're building up as if it's going to be, oh, well, the werewolf and the kid who can talk to ghosts and the vampire and the woman with a shotgun and whatever Vicky's power was going to be or whatever are all going to team up because they all actually love each other and they're a family and they're going to fight the witch.
With
but
our
that's
powers
not really
combined.
Right, yeah, exactly. But that's not it. It's the werewolf comes, gets punched and falls over. The shotgun gets punched and falls over.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer picks up the werewolf. And okay, so Ava Green is beautiful, but like,
yeah.
So she tries to do these little, again, fucking Tim Burton. He always tries to make everything so quirky and like have so many stupid motivation for people. So she's a porcelain doll or something,
which I thought was cool.
I thought the idea of that was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, but why?
The idea,
and then so she can beat up this werewolf. She can beat up Barnabas, and then all of a sudden a ghost comes, screams at her. She flies at a chandelier, falls down, and is fucking dead.
Yeah, it felt like, because the idea that the way she maintains her beauty for all this years is that like she put some spell on her, so now she's a porcelain doll. Like, that idea I thought was really cool, and especially that she gets broken up. But that should have been her downfall. Like, it should have been that if you actually start hitting on her, that then, like, she's got all these magical powers and all these spells and stuff, and that's her sort of defense. But once you really start beating her up, then she breaks apart. Like, that's an obvious thing. But no, they just make her into the Hulk, and then they're like, oh, well, then how do we defeat her? I don't know. We throw her into a chandelier?
Yeah.
Like, there's just no...
You scream her into a chandelier.
Yeah. Which I thought, oh man, again, I thought they were building to something really cool. Like, I thought he was talking to more than one ghost, and that like ghosts were gonna come and rip her apart. And I thought, this is gonna be badass. And then it's just ghost shows up, screams, chandelier.
And there's so many plot points. Like, okay, so the Victoria comes to help them, and then she sees the ghost of his former love, Josette, and she says, "Help me!" And then she falls off a cliff.
I thought they were gonna help Josette.
Is she helping? What's she helping?
Nothing ever comes from that. I honestly like that.
Wait, at the end?
No. Like, remember the ghost would go to the chandelier and then fall off, and she'd say, "Help me."
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah.
What the fuck is she helping her do?
Like what? Like, I guess the idea, which this
Find out who killed me.
This ending, it's gonna bug me for days as I try to compare how bad this is by comparison to like Twilight, because the end of the movie is that he turns her into a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she would rather kill herself than be a human and live with him. So she makes him kill her, I guess.
Yeah, it's
like ugh.
But too,
It's not romantic. It's not.
No, because he dives after her, bites her, and then he's like, Victoria, Victoria. Then all of a sudden she wakes up and says, Josette. Like, oh, okay.
How do you what?
Yeah, well, I guess you're reincarnated as a vampire into his former love. And totally, the movie had no direction,
and their stories barely blended together. Like you said, with Barnabas's exposition, and then you think, oh, well, most of the story's going to be through her point of view because she's going to meet everybody at the mansion.
That's the way to make that movie.
And she shows up, and then Barnabas shows up, and then it's all about him for the rest of the movie.
Disappears.
And she
for most of the
disappears.
movie.
Okay. Also, too,
and then she's just in love with him.
Does he only burn in certain sunlight?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, it depends on the intensity of the sunlight.
Yeah, it depends on whether or not they need to actually have a scene.
If it's high noon, he's fucked. If it's
if he's on a beach where it's sunset,
he's got a hat. It's about deflect it a little bit.
It's about the contrast. If he's on the beach and everything is slightly illuminated, that's okay. If he walks from the shadows into a beam of light coming through a window, that's too much contrast. That's too much change in light. So
actually, the beach should be worse because the water's reflecting the light. Back up
like
into
things
his
like that
face.
just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And it was basically, we're gonna take him and put him in a bunch of situations, and then it's gonna he has no motivation. Like, why did he show up to the office the third time, and he says,
when he tells her to kiss his butt?
Yeah, and why did he drink blood? I thought there was gonna be like the blood would be poisoned or something. No, she just gives him blood
from someone we never find out who.
Yeah.
And then her agents already have a coffin set up, like outside the door he just walked in through.
Yeah, they must have been waiting. It just didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, the movie just meanders. I mean, what's the whole point of the whole like him getting the fishing thing going again? Like, why does he need to
restore the family if he has all that wealth anyways?
Well, the family's important to him, so it's it's kind of like a ridiculous motivation for like it. Back in his time, it would have been really important, but in the 70s, it's not that big a deal.
Like, he kept saying that, but I did not see that. Like, I didn't see him liking any of those people. In fact, he fervently dislikes one of them. I don't.
Well, because to him, it's just about what his father said to him. He doesn't really feel it.
Yeah, exactly, and that makes him an empty pit of a character. He's not somebody I can relate with.
I know, and it's Tim Burton's overall theme that he does in so many of his movies, where you're the outcast and everybody's against you. And, I mean, in his Alice in Wonderland, which was terrible, did the same thing.
And that sort of juvenile understanding of love, where it's just like, oh, now I love you. Like,
because they never do anything except walk on the beach a couple times and read a book together.
Yeah,
and then they're like,
"You're pretty,
meant to be
you're
together."
dark and brooding.
I didn't like Helena Bonham Carter's character in it at all.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I'm drunk and I'm trying to be funny, and I just that's the thing that drives me nuts with him.
It clashed.
Tim Burton, even in stuff like Beetlejuice. You have every member of the family has some different trait that is supposed to be funny, and every single one of them I find is really annoying until Beetlejuice shows up. Then Beetlejuice is funny.
Yeah,
and in this, I don't know, and I guess it appeals to certain people because when Barnabas comes out for the first time and he kills all those dudes, and then he's afraid of McDonald's.
Did you see the M?
That's not funny.
No, it's not.
Did you see the M in the storybook was the McDonald's arch?
No.
It was like a red square and then a yellow arch M, and I forget what he was reading.
So they were actually setting up that unfunny joke.
Well, that was before the sign showed up. And I was like,
right.
Oh, that's a slight advertising nod to McDonald's. And all of a sudden,
could be.
A couple scenes later, it's like they actually show the actual McDonald's.
Yeah, and it's like illuminating, huge.
Well, that just diminished that little thing.
Yeah,
it just I don't know, and so but also. Barnabas, too, at the beginning said he started mixing himself with like dark arts that nothing came from it.
Yeah, no, he never actually knows anything about magic.
Yeah,
he just knows he's a vampire.
I don't get this movie.
The most uninteresting looking vampire.
It was just like when I saw like Johnny Depp, and then when he turned Victoria into a vampire, it looked like his characters from fucking Frankenweenie.
Yeah,
where it's pale faces and black circles around their eyes. I wonder if Tim Burton just jerks off to that at night.
I do want to touch on the things I thought were actually good. Like the I wasn't kidding when I said the background of this movie is the best part of this movie. I feel like the art direction, the setting up, making it look like the 70s, especially those early shots, were great. And the sort of establishing shots of the train during the credits that all looked like it was being filmed in the 70s on real film looked really cool. Like, just stylistically, if the whole movie had looked like that, if the whole movie were, it looked like a movie, it looked like Five Easy Pieces or something like that, only there was a vampire walking through the frame, visually that would have been far more interesting than the Tim Burton-ness of this movie.
Yep.
Which is a shame.
Why can't he just make a different movie? I just don't get it. Because like I said, it's more important for him to have the Tim Burton brand than it is for him to be artistically challenged.
Did you notice the town was Jaws town? The town from Jaws?
No. What do you mean? Like it was actually that town?
Whatever town Spielberg filmed parts of Jaws in.
Oh, wow.
Martha's Vineyard?
No.
Did he film Martha's Vineyard? I'm pretty sure he did.
I think you're right.
Well, anyway, like the center part of the town, I remember, I forgot where I saw it, but they had like side-by-side snapshots of something, and one of them is like the storefront or something that's like a bait shop. I don't know. But that was in this movie, and I was like...
Huh.
Oh, wait, you know what? I just found another inconsistency in this movie. So when she sets him up for him to reveal that he killed everybody, and that her fishermen found the body of the doctor, Helena Bonham Carter's character, but at the end of the movie, she's still at the bottom of the fucking sea.
Oh, yeah. Which I knew was coming.
Yeah, totally, because he needs something
dumb.
for his wife to do. Again, I don't mind if he does it. I mean, Jason Mewes wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for Kevin Smith, but...
And it doesn't actually... Like they have that whole fight at the end, right? And then there are no consequences for the townspeople finding out that he killed those people.
No.
You know, like the cop sends them away,
and the people are like, "Oh, whatever, I guess."
Yeah,
we just saw a guy get shot 3 times, he didn't die, and then that woman got thrown through there. We'll just leave.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Clearly, this is some craziness.
Typical Collinswood stuff, right, guys?
Oh man,
those Collins are up to no good again. Anyways,
what even happened? My other favorite part was that the chandelier is shaped like an octopus, which reminded me of the octopus hanging from the ceiling from Ed Wood. That, like, literally, like that was the thing in the movie that made me happy. And when Christopher Lee shows up.
And wasn't it bizarre when he just walked into the house and the kids are just sitting there listening to him?
Yeah. Like,
and then they
why aren't you mad that there's some creepy dude in your house?
Away, or I don't get it.
Oh.
I don't know.
Man.
And then that kid's dad, his story is just he takes off.
Yeah.
Jackie Earl Haley was pretty good, though, as the drunk. Yeah. I like when he was drunk in the pumpkin field and leaned over and patted the pumpkin and said, "Pumpkin." That was slightly comical.
And he says something about October. It's like, because there's pumpkins.
Yeah, it's October, hence the pumpkins. Yeah, that was maybe the wittiest line in the whole movie because all the other dialogue is nonsense.
I like the mansion. It looked nice.
Wait a minute. This screenplay was by Seth Graham Smith,
which is a bad sign.
And
for
his vampire hunter Abraham Lincoln was really good at some parts, and then didn't make sense at any other ones.
Yep. It's also
the book. It's like
Seth Graham Smith and John August, who John August is always involved in writing the stories for Tim Burton, did the story together, but the script whole hog is Seth Graham Smith, which is not a good sign for Vampire Hunter, the Demon of Abraham Lincoln, or whatever that movie's called. I am sad for that movie now.
You can like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can email us directly, realnerds@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, real_nerds. You can also read and listen to our amazing blogs at realnerds.tumblr.com. Next week, Brad will not be here for real. Brad is on a journey across America, and he's going to film it. It'll be like a travel log. It'll be really cute.
For real.
For real. It'll be just me and James. And me and James, we're seeing Battleship.
Are we going to try to see
The Dictator?
The Dictator 2 sometime this week?
We can.
Comes out on Wednesday, so I can see it.
What day are you leaving?
I'm leaving Friday.
I might be off Wednesday, so we'll have to schedule. Okay. But anyway,
but worst for case, sure, Battleship.
Worst case scenario, Battleship's got to be exciting, right? Even if it's dumb as shit, right?
guess.
Stuff's going to at least blow up, right?
Hey, listen in. 2 movies, possibly.
Possibly 2
2
movies.
for the free price of 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, tune in. You know, hopefully this week we'll figure out exactly what's going to happen with Comic-Con, and we'll have some real news about what you can look forward to at our booth.
Hopefully. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Stay out of the shadows.
Ooh, he ended up. Fuck you, Brad.